We're constructing settlements and summoning Lich Kings. That's right, it's Towers of Conquest by BC Games. This expand, explore, and exterminate strategy game pits 2 to 4 players against one another in an epic battle for 30 conquest points. Setup begins with the hex pieces placed on the table in any order. Any blank space on the map where there is no terrain is considered water, which most units cannot pass through. Each player begins with 1 settlement and 2 pathfinders. Players roll a d20 to see who places first, and the highest roll wins, and then rotation proceeds counterclockwise around the table. The first player can place their settlement on any old open hex on the map, and then place 2 of their pathfinders in available hexes adjacent to that settlement. As the players select those hexes, they may collect resources from each hex. The last player to place their units gets to go first in the gameplay turn order, after which play proceeds clockwise. During their turn, each player follows an order of steps. First, the active player rolls the rune die. This provides resources from any pathfinders or settlements on those hexes. Resources include awesome stuff like wheat, spirit, wild game, diamond, and lumber. Pick your favorite, they're all my favorite. The 6 dice symbol side, Providence, allows all players to choose 1 copy of any old resource to gain, so everybody wins. Now, the base rules for Towers of Conquest don't allow trading with your enemies because you're trying to kill them. But players can exchange 4 of 1 type of resource to gain 1 new resource of their choosing. Additionally, if a player has a unit on that merchant hex, they can exchange for only 3 to 1. Next, the active player may move any or all of their units. Each unit moves individually and completely before another unit can begin moving. Units can move up to their movement value, which is the little green foot symbol located on our handy-dandy game chart. Occupied spaces and water spaces can only be passed through by characters that have cool abilities like flying or shadow walk. After movement, the active player may attack with any or all of their available forces. First, the player must declare which individual unit is attacking which enemy. Then, both units roll their battle dice at the same time. Defending units roll their defense value worth of dice, while attackers roll their attack value worth of dice. Ranged characters can attack any unit within the number of hexes of their range value, even if occupied hexes stand between them. Once the dice are rolled, attackers gain a success for each attack symbol, and defending players can block 1 success per defense symbol. Each leftover success from the attack roll that goes unblocked deals 1 point of damage to the defender. Bam! Basic units like your Pathfinder and your Ranger only have 1 hit point, so they're gonna die pretty easily. But structures like settlements, fortresses, and towers, or the big titans of the game, the tier 3 characters, have multiple hit points, which can be tracked with blood tokens, either placed next to the structure or placed on their character card. When attacking a structure, the player must first attack the highest tier of that structure before attacking the next tier down. For example, Silver has built a tower on their fortress on their settlement. Now, if I wanted to attack their settlement, I would first have to knock out their tower, then knock out their fortress. Buildings also don't regain HP points, so if I had hit their settlement earlier in the game, that hit point would still be missing. As players defeat enemies, they claim the slain game piece and are awarded the conquest points for that unit or structure. Claimed pieces cannot be respawned by the original owner, and that player also loses the conquest points earned from first building that unit. Speaking of building, the final phase of the round is the build and buy phase, where players can exchange the resources they've collected to create more structures, units, or exchange 3 of the same resource to acquire a super cool conquest card. These action cards have various game effects, and a player may use them on the turn purchased, provided the action doesn't take place in the move or attack phase of the round. They have to wait for the next turn to do that. New units purchased during the build phase spawn next to the settlement type they hail from, depending on their tier. New settlements can be built adjacent to pathfinders, and settlement upgrades all layer upon the original structure. The first player to complete a tower in the game gains a 1-time bonus conquest point and is the first to unlock the uber-powerful Titan characters, which will dominate the battlefield. As players spawn units, they gain the conquest points for each, but will lose those conquest points to the player who removes them from the game. As the avatars of destruction duke it out, play continues around the board until someone reaches 30 conquest points and wins the game. And that's Towers of Conquest. I'm Becca Scott, and I really want to win this. I really want to win this on Game the Game. I'm just gonna destroy the guests. Seriously. So anyway, come and watch me on Game the Game, play this with my friends, and you can watch us play a cool new game every week. I'll see you there.